Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes from August 15th?
Yeah, I sent Kerry a couple of little things just today. Forgot to get around, forgot to read it.
And this one here makes reference to those changes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
The second page, I put FRF funding instead of SRF funding.
I'll make a motion to accept.
I'll second it. All in favor? Aye. And we're signing the warrants now, and the abatements.
What'd we get from Maltz? Is that a chemical pump or something?
Yeah, what is it, about 4,000 or is it?
No, 88.
Yeah, that's 2 pumps, yeah. We've gone through a few. I'm not gonna buy that kind of pump anymore, their quality is deteriorating.
Which were they?
What, oh, their price, the carry water pumps, I don't know, something happened. I mean, we've been using them since I got here, 2005. For like the last couple of years, we get them in and they're no good.
Really?
And then I gotta fight with them to get my money back.
Start making them somewhere else maybe.
Probably.
I guess, I've got 2 out there that are gonna go
Probably
back to
making
them
them in
now.
China now.
And they don't want to give the money back.
Yeah, well, I can buy them cheaper too. They also had a price increase. They went from $2,000 up to $3,000, then like $1,000 price jump for a piece of junk that doesn't work most
And that's
of the
just
time.
your carry water, it's not the chemical.
Yeah, and I've got to keep one in stock, so I don't know it doesn't work until like a
Right.
couple of months later when we go to use it.
Yeah.
So that's the end of the new business, unless somebody else has got some new business that we can discuss, but there's nothing here on the agenda. Old business. Station, what do you got from the engineers? I'll just ask you that.
So on 1, 2, and 4, I don't have anything, I've not heard anything from them on that, other than the last thing was the pilot study, so they're arranging to get that guy in here to do the pilot studies.
Yeah, last time he said it was gonna be
Yeah,
out a while.
so we're just waiting on that to occur. On Station 3, they've applied for the treatment facility modifications to Mass DEP. They put out a bid spec for the plant modifications. So at some point, I guess they'll be going off a bid.
Did they submit that spec for DEP?
Yeah. The replacement well. That, I think what happened is they didn't do a detailed drawing of the connections that went out there, so so I think it was a little back and forth between the electrical contractor getting mad that, you know, you're asking for stuff that wasn't in there, and I don't know how many jobs they do with these guys, so I think they were a little upset. They came in, I let the electricians know that, like, I've been using you guys since forever, and I hate to find another contractor because you guys are really good with the VFDs, and he went on about how, you know, it's not fair that he should have to pay for things that should be in there, blah, blah, blah. So it came down to a junction box in the ground, and I said, cheap fiberglass one is fine. If I have to, I'll put a steel plate over it if I think I'm worried about somebody driving on it, but it'll be fenced in. The engineer came back with some diamond plated thing that you can't get for a year. I said, let's put the fiberglass thing in there that you could get off the shelf. So I don't know what happened. The next thing I know, I saw they're waiting on detailed drawings again, so I don't know whether it's another fit going on. Or, I think we're caught in the middle of something that has nothing to do with us. Because they were supposed to come out, I hurried up, I put in 2 posts with a backup board for them to put the disconnect on. They requested it. They were supposed to come out last Thursday. That's when I saw the email come back that they're waiting for drawings. So that ended that one. We may not see that for another 2 years.
And then we'll have the VFDs.
Now the VFDs I think are still a couple of months out.
Yeah.
So they'll probably hold off until the VFDs. Which I don't get it, it's 2 different pieces.
So now that we've had this rain, the last few rainstorms, the water table down here must have jumped up quite a bit.
I haven't looked. I was gonna look tomorrow morning. I was gonna let it try to filter its way down and then see what happened. But I've seen in the past when we had a rain, it came up a couple of inches down in the wells.
Oh yeah, I used to watch it after a thunderstorm. It would come up feet
Yeah,
because it just pours down the hill here.
Yeah,
It just
well,
sucks right into the ground.
we got
it
like
goes in
3
the ground
inches.
so fast.
Up in this end, yeah.
Yeah, we got 3 inches of rain at least, so it should come. I should see it coming up tomorrow.
Yeah.
But the last rainstorm, I forget, a few weeks back, I looked at it afterwards, and it came up inches. It didn't come up feet, but we didn't get as much rain as we got out of this one.
No, I mean, the brooks around Manley Street and my street, they're way up.
Yeah.
They came up quick. That's
Yeah,
the problem, it runs off so much too.
Right, you've got that much rain, it's not gonna soak in. I mean, it was good, some soaked in because it went over a couple of days, but you get that much, you get it running onto the brooks, it just goes places.
There's no place down here for it to run off. When it starts pouring down the hill and stuff, it just
Yeah.
Into
sucks
the
right in the
sand.
sand, you know? It's just pure sand down here.
The asset management, they're supposed to complete in time, but I got an email or a letter from DEP that it was extended. I'm like, I don't get that, because they were supposed to complete it in time.
Yeah, it's like the second meeting that they've been to that we told them to submit it.
Right. So, I think they submitted, but either way, it was extended, so we'll see if they do it. The Lincoln Street, the Walnut Street tank, well, they're working on that, I guess. That's what he said the last time he was here. I haven't heard much more out of him on that one, but it's only been a couple of weeks. The Lincoln Street warehouse, they were hung up on wanting to know what the tie-in fee was, so Kerry went back through the meetings to find where somebody had said what the fee was, because they kept saying a number, and I said, well, I didn't say that number, and I don't know, so the number was that's why you have that December 20th one, the number is the
285,000.
yeah.
Yep.
But that's just for the sprinkler tie-in fees. I already sent him a separate thing for his, I think he's going with a 2-inch domestic tie-in. So I sent him that separately and said that's not negotiable.
Yep.
Now, you think they'll come down to a smaller domestic connection?
No, he'll probably hold at that one, because he said that whatever they're doing, that they'll stub off or whatever they're gonna do, and then they'll go back at it if they expand.
I think that's what United Liquors, they originally started out with a 4-inch line in there, and they whittled it down to 2-inch. They never had any problem. With all the people that they had in there with the office space and everything, a 2-inch meter, and they handled the whole thing.
Yeah, nobody in here, you can't do anything using water because there's no storage to get rid of it, so we're always just gonna have commercial buildings with bathrooms and sinks.
So now that number was given to them?
I haven't given it to him yet, I wanted you guys to see it first, but it
Well,
was,
that's the number we came up with, and it's in
Yeah.
the minutes, it's not like we can change it, so.
he hasn't asked. The other thing is he's got his letter, so I know he was going into town trying to get road opening permits.
Okay.
Because I got a call from David asking if we had anything to do with that. I said, nope, that's when it goes over to you guys. We're all signed off for his pipe down the road. Frank Gallagher and Ross Messina. So, I thought I read in the planning board minutes that somewhere they had mentioned that it was cost prohibitive. They're still chasing Brockton, I think, for their tie-in. That it was cost prohibitive for them to come from West Bridgewater with water.
It was more expensive to do West Bridgewater?
Yeah, because they gotta run all that pipe and
Yeah.
so, and I don't know, and I think they hung up something to do with the plot. The last I knew, they were trying to come, if they can't get out through Brockton, they were trying to come through some parcel of land and come across from Walnut Street.
Yeah, I heard that, but I heard they were having wicked issues. They're trying to run the road through the wetland areas
Right.
and whatnot.
So I think they just, till they can find some way to get their thing in, they're still hung up. Yeah, water rates, well, you're waiting to bring in Tara and Howard to speak to that. And solar is,
Anything coming out yet?
there's money there, but truly you've gotta have your dollars and cents to apply for the grant when it comes. So I think they just went through their first round there'll be subsequent rounds, I believe. There is money
What do you
there.
have to have, the plans?
Yeah, you've gotta have something to tell them that you need, so many million to do this or that.
Well.
I still think if you contacted the solar companies direct, they'll do it for you if they're gonna get the business. Of course, then you don't,
But they're not gonna get the business because you're gonna have to go out to
if
bid.
you have to go out to bid, then
They're not gonna get the business.
kinda craps because now you've gotta spend engineering money to get money and that's,
We already
Fishes.
did the plan. We spent $10,000 doing the.
And
the whole
I
thing.
did reach-
Wayne tried to find
I
it,
did.
right? They didn't have it.
and they have no
There's no
records of it.
files around here on it?
In all of the things I've searched, I've never found anything.
How long ago was that anyway? That would have been long enough that the technology wouldn't even,
10 years ago?
yeah, I mean, it probably set
Oh,
something
well,
up different anyway.
The
'cause
biggest
you-
thing that they were doing is they were just saying, how many KW do we need here? How many KW do we need at, say, Station 2?
Yeah.
How many do we need out on Manley Street? That's what they were looking at. Then they were just saying how many panels. Today, the panels are about 350 watts. And when I did mine, they were 180. That was,
Yeah, so we'd have to get a different layout for panels and
right,
stuff
so that,
anyway. to
so
figure
now
out.
the number of panels is cut in half to do the same job. And the price of them has dropped about in half. They're a lot less expensive. So, well, what's our next chance of getting some money to get something going on this? Town meetings coming up or anything? Or we could-
If I remember, they're gonna have some special town meeting. There's something they have to sign, I don't know what. I remember hearing it, that there was gonna be one, but there's nothing has come out. And I forget what it was in regards to, but even as they were having the regular town meeting, they already knew they were gonna have one for something. I don't know what it was, but I haven't heard anything yet, but I'll keep my ear to the ground and I'll send an email out to David asking.
Yeah, ask David if they're gonna have one, because we got something we wanna put on there. I think that we ought to just,
If there's gonna be money out there, I mean, we ever figure out what the deal is with the town solar? How it affects the other rate, and what we're paying on the other if we come off
So,
that?
well, the last time that we did anything solar, that's when they took it away. So I don't, as far as I know, is if you do your own solar, then they take away the town's money that they're putting to us. I wouldn't think that would happen until our thing became active, not.
I would think that would be fair, that they're gonna take it away just because you're talking about it.
Right, it shouldn't be, it should be once your system becomes
Yeah.
active, not because you're talking about it.
Well, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it big enough so we're not even gonna have an electric bill, so,
Right,
it's gonna, paying them with a 30% discount, ours is gonna be a lot cheaper
here,
in the long run than theirs is gonna be. So theirs never ends. Theirs we keep paying forever.
right.
So is that something, everybody was in agreement that we should
Yeah.
look into it, get a plan going,
Figure
so
out-
we can,
We have to go to the special town meeting, put some money for it.
yeah. So I'll make a motion that we talk to the engineers and just get a ballpark how much something like that would cost, and come up with the number of panels for each station that we need, and that how much engineering money we need. We're gonna have to have a ballpark figure. I make a motion, I guess, that we, try to,
Do we even need to vote for that right now, or just go and do get the number from the engineers about what it might cost to put the
Yeah,
plan together, and then once we get, we'll have to vote to do that.
right.
okay, I
Once we
just
know.
wanna make sure everybody's in agreement to.
Yeah, because they're not gonna charge us for
Started.
that,
Electric's not gonna go down.
You know,
ever.
it is getting worse. The more natural gas goes up, they convert the electric plants to natural gas.
Well, I don't understand, but they're also have a big push now, I think, in the building construction, they wanna push everything towards electric.
Yeah.
Electric's like ultra expensive, I don't understand
Well,
their thought.
just because they don't wanna burn fossil fuels, but they burn fossil fuels to make the electricity
Yeah,
still,
no
so-
matter what, you're gonna be burning fossil fuels, cause they're not building any more nuclear plants.
Yet,
Yeah.
enough, California realizes that all the electric cars they're trying to push won't be able to get recharged because they can't push the electricity
Right.
around.
Yeah, they have the worst grid
Yeah.
system out there.
The thing I'm surprised about is that nobody's upgrading the grid.
A lot of
I
money.
think that's why the electric company's letting it go that way, because eventually they're gonna say, all right, well now somebody's gotta pour some money into the grid.
Well,
And that's separate now from generation.
right,
Right.
but the company that owns the grid, we pay them a lot of money to deliver the electricity to our house. It's as much as the generation. So why aren't they putting money into the grid instead of just trying to suck all the money out of it? And as the system grows and it starts to collapse, because more and more people are charging cars and stuff like that, and using more electricity, then they're gonna go to the government and say, oh, we need a bailout. We need help building
No,
this.
they can only take in rates what the government approves them to take in rates. Attorney General's office approves what their rates are.
Right,
So
but
they can't just say.
but
we're
they
gonna
usually get the increases that they want whenever they're like laying gas mains and that. They always get, that's why the gas rates are always,
Well, that's what would happen, the electrical grid, if they said, okay, now we gotta change all this, not for where the power comes now, but for all this other, that's gonna be huge money. I don't think anybody's thinking about how much money this is gonna cost. And they can't just go and ask for that money up front
No.
in their rates. I don't want my electric bill to go up like 5 or 10 times.
what do you pay a month now? Say,
I think last month was 280.
280? The air conditioning and stuff like that?
Yeah.
One of my neighbors said he pays about 400.
It can be, depends on how much.
Yeah. I mean, I don't,
Huh?
Whatever they tell me to pay.
yeah, I mean, I haven't,
No,
I
I mean-
don't run cold air conditioner.
I mean, does it run like in the 200s, 300s, 400?
3 to 4.
3 or 4, yeah. I remember when it used to be $80 or so, you
Yeah,
know?
it's not anymore. I know my mother.
I don't think I
see
remember
hers,
80 bucks.
it's 175 for one person.
Well, I'm not paying anything. But you must not be paying anything, are you?
I don't pay anything because they fixed the thing. I did for a while
Yeah, you were saying.
You're still getting your green credits and all that? You
Yeah,
paid
it's-
for your system?
though, for about another 7 years.
Yeah. Mine just paid off, right? This July.
Yeah,
This whole system paid for itself. They paid me back my 58,000 that I put into it. And I'm still getting checks. I got 2 more years left on it.
right.
So, it was a good deal. I can't believe other people missed out on it. That, you know, the credits are still there. They're just not as big as they used to be.
Yeah.
But what they say is the price of the panels has gone down so much, you don't need as much. Like my system isn't 58,000 anymore. My system's probably 23 or
Yeah. They
24,000.
actually just put panels on the house across the street from me.
Oh, yeah.
but they got the nice, perfect south-facing roof.
Right. Yeah, you've gotta have the sunshine or else
Yeah.
it doesn't work.
Yeah. What else we got here? Job posting.
I see the applications come through, but there's nothing, I mean, unless you wanna hire a mechanic or,
Okay,
Yeah, not what you're looking for.
now what you looking
Not-
for?
nobody's
We
standing
don't wanna
up.
hire just a body, we wanna hire somebody that you can use.
Well, if you, like, the biggest part of our water expense is the people, unfortunately, but you need good people because you want them to know what they're doing. But if you outsourced most of our other work and just stayed to the stations, and you could get away with less people.
No, but then you'd have to have the people, you'd still be paying for wherever
You're
you're
gonna pay for
outsourcing it
something
to.
somewhere, but you just wouldn't have the overhead.
Yeah, but it's not like we have 20 people either. I mean, you don't-
No, we're just
you
trying
have-
to add 2 more, which eventually, hopefully somebody puts in an application.
Well, just keep it open, and if you find somebody, let us know.
Changed it.
How about-
Keep tweaking your description.
I did tweak it again, I haven't seen any. The Indeed, I think they self-populate, they automatically apply you, or there's something, I remember hearing the commercial too, and I'm like, that's why we get all that good people.
How about the water ban?
Well, you've got those people that are just thumbing their nose. You've got a lot of green lawns out there that shouldn't be green, but I mean, I'd have to go out at night to find them. I don't think the fines are high enough. Like, for me to go out with another guy, it costs you $250 right off the bat.
Yeah.
So your fine should equal what it's gonna cost in expense.
Well,
We'll get through this year, because I mean, we've gotten some rain. We're almost towards the end now of the season. We're
Well,
getting morning dew.
they're gonna pay for it anyway, so now we got the rain,
Right.
water's in the ground, so those who were cheating, they'll just pay it.
Did you get any second offense people filled out?
I might have had 1 or 2, I'm not sure. But there weren't, I have to go out and look for them, and that means I've
Yeah.
gotta get up at 10 PM and start.
Just get up, you're not asleep at 10. Come on.
I am awake, but
There's two different fine schedules, right? One for the water department, one for the.
so
water commissioners?
we're basically going by the one that was in the general bylaws.
Okay, 50,
Yeah,
100,
yep.
escalating. Alright.
And how many did we end up sending out?
I wanna say we sent out probably 30 firsts. There were a few.
And maybe a couple of seconds.
Yeah, the seconds are minimal.
If you go to the water department link on the town page, and you click on infogram or something like that, there's a picture that has all the different times and whatnot, and that says $100 fine on there.
Yeah.
That's what we have. We probably, as part of
Yeah.
looking at how much we have the fines at, we should probably look at trying to get that squared away. too.
Yeah.
Right, so at
So-
some point, I mean, before we get to the next season, and before we get to March, when we send out the CCR we'll send out the water ban notice again.
You know, time to do when we do the rates, is just add that into, as we're doing the rates, we'll look at that, and we'll do that all at the
And
same
if
time,
you
so we
do
tell
another
people.
tier, that might affect people enough.
We should look at the meter fees too at the same time, because I know that we're pretty much at cost, right?
Yeah, I'll get costs for the brass fittings, and then we'll figure out.
They need to be updated anyway, because we need to update the names of the water commissioners on there anyway at the end.
Yeah, when I used to try to figure the cost of the tie-ins, you know, and I try to keep up with it, it was like impossible. Every time, you know, you go 6 months or so, and then you look at what you're paying for stuff and what you're charging, and you're like, oh man, we're losing money.
And the way it's been
Every
going
day.
the last couple of years with
Right.
prices and stuff, it's gotta be even worse.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I said to Matt, give me one of those fittings, and he says to me, yeah. they're $50 a piece.
Yeah.
And I go, $50? I remember when I was paying 25, they doubled the price. He goes,
Yeah, I was gonna buy
Yep.
a couple of brass elbows and they were 25 bucks a piece. I'm like, all right, we can do without those. We'll get them when we need them. This year, so we pay off the last truck we bought. I'd like to replace the dump truck next, the big dump.
okay, the other trucks are
Yeah, the other ones will,
paid off.
yeah, everything will be paid off this
We looked
year.
at,
Yep.
started looking at prices for it yet, or?
So I have a quote that the town got for their replace. They're gonna be buying another dump truck, but we'll be looking at something a little less dump trucky.
Dump trucking.
Well, it was $178,000. I'm like, that's a lot of truck. I don't know. We have to be able to get the excavator's got to be able to reach into it without
Yeah.
hitting it and damaging it and
Yeah.
stuff. So I know they have bigger trucks, taller, and the excavator only has so high a reach. So
That
before
that was always a problem with the mini excavators. You can't reach. When you get
Swing over and hit the,
dry dirt, a lot of times you could get it up that high. When you got mud, it slides right out of the bucket before you get there.
yeah, you have to be curled perfect.
Yeah.
well, and you get the extra weight too, so
Yeah.
if you're maxing out.
This one here is still, it has a side that comes down, doesn't it?
Yeah, the old one. Yeah.
Yeah,
We've never, because it's so heavy to get that side back up.
yeah. But it was the only way we could get
Yeah.
the mud in there. And then you could only use half the truck.
Yeah, because you gotta drop down.
Yeah.
But they couldn't get us overweight. That's,
Yeah, because you only got a half a truck full.
they're right.
So you're just gonna come up with a number for that, for next year's capital?
Well, I'll have the guys look at it, or I'll have to go up to it, because I think they buy the trucks out of New Hampshire. I don't think that comes out of the, like the vans and the pickup trucks we buy from the place in Marlboro, because they're part of the bid thing. The dump trucks, they always seem to be up in Donovan in New Hampshire. So I'll have to go up there and look, and I'll have to know our reach and heights before I go up there.
Yeah. We wanna keep, keep replacing. We don't wanna get behind.
Right. We're already behind, so now we'll just catch up.
How bad's that truck right now?
So it's a tank. It'll run forever, but it's not very pleasant to drive. It's the throw-up bearing screams like you can't hear anything else in that truck. The throw-up bearing screaming away, and then the rest of it, well, it's together. We keep
See,
putting it
the
together.
plowing
so-
too doesn't, when we plow with that,
Yeah.
that takes a lot of the life out of that truck. That truck would last us 10 times longer if we just used it, a couple times a month for our leaks. But we run it just as much as the highway department runs theirs
Right.
for snow plowing, But it gets beat up.
And then the last thing is the guy down at the end of Manley Street, 586 Manley, the one, the Spady's old property.
Yeah.
So he built his new building, but now he's come up with a new plan. He's gonna knock everything down, and he's got this, which will probably be better than the 100 trucks that he's parking there, but he's gigantic warehouse.
When did that come up?
It's been around for a while now, but the plans just came through.
10,000 square feet of office space and 200.
It's
200,600 square feet of warehouse.
Yeah. So it's 210,600
Where's he gonna put this?
square feet. It's the entire property.
No, I'm thinking how is he gonna site the septic for that new building?
That,
The
well,
office and,
yeah, when he gets offices, then you need septic. But he's got parking in the front and the back, so it looks like there might be if you're putting it under it. But it looks like it's going in sideways. Instead of being across the front, it's going in lengthwise
I
towards the
think he's
back.
got pretty good material up there though. I think he's got.
Oh, it'll be decent material, it's just that's gonna be a lot of,
Lincoln Street's 300,000?
Yeah, so this one's just as big.
So the buildings he just built, he's gonna tear them down, build this?
Yeah, well, we only built the one, and it's a repair garage.
yeah.
But he had easily 100+ tractor trailers
Oh,
parked
that
there.
place, it's been ridiculous.
Plus, materials. Those materials are in our water resource, but there's no protections in place for, who knows what's in the dirt that comes and goes.
Well, I say, this would be better, in a way better for us.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's a
what
lot
they're
better. I'm all for it. He's not gonna use any water, it'll be sprinkler tie-ins. And there's a 12-inch main going down there anyway, so.
Yeah. Yeah, let him do it.
I want to say, on United Drive, there are 3 commercial buildings going in on United Drive.
Really?
This,
Where? There's one up right up the.
that's
Front
Old
corner.
Snell's property, yeah. And then there's 2 more, one going in the parking lot across from 35, and then there's one in the woods across from 35.
Up on the hill thing?
Yeah.
The parking lot where they were parking all the cars.
Yep, there's one
Where the
building.
treatment plant is.
Yep.
They're putting a building there and another building up above.
Yep, I haven't seen any plans yet, but they've done their fire flow test, and there's stuff floating around. And then there's the building going across from the Manley Street treatment plant, behind the 5-man.
Oh, yeah, up in that lot. back
Yeah.
there. Yeah. There's been something planned in there for years.
Yeah,
Looking at it.
I think he's finally moving forward again.
Maybe it'll keep some of the dirt bikes out of the wells.
Yeah, as I've heard, I thought they've already
We're
tried to
gonna
block
have
them
some,
off.
tax revenue coming in to town, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah. A big change in that area between all the solar panels they put up there and now that, from what used to be just basically farm.
yep.
So what's the sprinkler fee on, how many square feet of warehouse?
210,000, I think it's.
No, it's 300. No, it's 210, yeah.
210,000 plus commercial. I think.
Yeah.
Plus the office space.
Yeah.
Yeah,
plus
so it's
Yeah.
210,
210,600 square foot warehouse building.
But you gotta take the square footage of the whole place.
yeah, well, that's the
The
whole.
office might be inside the warehouse, because they're
It
only
is,
showing
it's
one
inside of
building.
the warehouse, so it's 210,600,
building.
yeah.
So,
We were at 285 for 300,000, so it's gonna be over 200.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
only 200,000 for the tie-in fee?
yeah.
somewhere in there.
Hmm.
A lot of big buildings going in around.
A lot of what?
Big buildings going
Yeah.
around.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not building the little ones anymore.
168, roughly,
168.
roughly, that's not.
Yeah.
Not to be used by anybody.
Do you remember
No.
the liquor store, a number of years back was gonna build one of those like that? Big building right there.
Well, that was you, they went to Norton,
Yeah, not United.
no, not United,
And
Horizon?
yep, that's
Yeah.
it,
Horizon
Eisen
Beverage.
Beverage.
Hmm. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I remember they had the 2 parking lots completely separated with security gates. We couldn't figure that one out from where they parked their cars and where they parked the trucks. So the employees didn't take a few
Okay,
bottles
yeah.
home with them. I was surprised, I was like, really?
So they just actually starting to move ahead with this one now?
Yeah, because he's produced plans, so it's not talk anymore.
Yeah.
I think it's a good fit for the property. cleans up what's there
It's a
now.
lot, again, I mean, I'd love to see everything stay farmland, but that ain't realistic.
Somebody else,
And that's a lot
somebody
better
else must
than,
be buying it then, wouldn't you think?
it's not the guy, it's what, ND Acquisitions, so it's probably not the guy that's,
No, so maybe somebody's made him an
he
offer.
must have sold that off.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
So yeah, and that crop's way off. If they put that building in that direction,
Yeah,
they're gonna have to change, either have loading docks in the back maybe and have it drop down, or put in a bunch of fill. because
well, that's to put in a bunch of fill up off of Scotland Street,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of fill there. If you stand there and you look down at there's like 10-foot rise
Yeah.
from what it used to be. They won't have any problems putting in fence posts because it's all good sand.
Yeah, no rocks in your backyard.
All right. Anybody got anything else that will be brought up tonight?
We just wanted to follow up on the food waste processing place.
I haven't heard anything. I know that the day that we were out there, we did stake off where our land was
Okay.
and let them see our corner, and then we put stakes across so that Michael White could see where the pile was.
Yeah, because you were supposed to go backward and stake the line.
Right.
So Deb,
And while we were there, they were still bringing stuff into it.
do they have stuff over the line already? Or-
Yeah, the stuff over the line. Yeah.
Are they moving it off the line and?
So alright, so that goes with, we met with them out there and Michael told them I'm gonna be off Thursday, Friday and something. So they were gonna have at least 4 days before he sent out his quit order. Now they have 30 days of appeal and then, whatever to get on a docket.
Or they could just move this stuff off our property.
Oh, so they got all the stuff off our property. They did that the very next day. It was gone. By the time we went out there to stake, they pulled it right off.
Oh, okay.
It's the pile of stuff that's in West Bridgewater that,
So it's in West Bridgewater, but not land.
I was gonna say, they shouldn't have a chance for appeal that. If it's
no,
on
they
our
didn't,
property.
they didn't, and I asked them, I did not send out anything. I was gonna ask them nicely and I did it that day. That way it's, cause you can't get there
And
without.
you think it was accidental, that they didn't really know?
Yeah, I think when cause they flattened out a big area and he talked about putting up some building, so I think they just moved it aside so that they could do what they were doing and then they just forgot it was there. And there wasn't anything, the dumpsters were all empty and it was, old fencing that was sitting there and it was gone the next day.
You have to sign that up.
I have to sign that. Oh, I do. Back to you.
Thank you.
Anything else?
That's all I got.
Did you hear back from the people who were supposed to possibly come in tonight? Who had sent that email out?
Oh, Pearl Road? Nope, I have not heard back. I thought she was gonna come because she was pretty upset,
Okay.
but she never did.
Move
I have
forward.
nothing else.
Pearl Road.
It was about the fee, the fine.
She was on vacation. She was saying she was on
Up to
vacation.
what?
About the sprinkler fine.
Oh,
Kerry had sent out an email a couple weeks ago.
I got you.
Next meetings is Monday, September 19th.
Wow, we're actually gonna have a Monday night meeting on a Monday night?
Mhm.
Gee.
If there's nothing else, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. Carried.